I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Alrighty, it took a little bit, not as much as it did this morning for the gopher to start, but she did start. So we've been letting her warm up a little bit. Still got a little bit more to go before I want to move on out. And we'll get home and pack our head in ice. Yeah, it's a little bit of a rough day, but it'll all work out. It's all good. See if we can get her to idle down a little bit. She's sounding good. No pinging, no tapping, no whirring, no hammering. It's a good thing. I know from running all of the Type 1, Type 2, Type 3 Volkswagen air-cooled motors that when we ran this heavy oil, the oil's actually designed for high compression, high heat diesel motors, and running it in the air-cooled engines was always beneficial because the thermal breakdown and the viscosity of the oil, it would take a lot more punishment, took a lot more heat, and it dispersed heat better than regular automotive motor oil. Something to do with the way the molecules were designed, the tack, the viscosity, the stick of the body for the metallic on the body always work good. They make synthetics, but your synthetic molecule is much smaller, and being much smaller, what happens in an air-cooled or Volkswagen motor, from my experience, I'm not saying that this is the actual science, I'm just explaining from my experience, so don't anybody get their panties in a bunch saying that I was claiming to be an expert. I know what I know because of what I've been through. I don't know everything. So, but the molecules are much smaller, and on the air-cooled motors on motorcycles and Volkswagens, it tended to, especially since the two half cases on Volkswagens don't have any seals in them at all, they actually mate perfectly flush without any seals, metal on metal, and that's four different types of metals that are inside a case on a Volkswagen that all expand at different ratios. And with a small molecule oil, it tends to leak out rather quickly, where if you have a large molecule oil, which that's a regular petroleum base, not the synthetic, but the petroleum base, standard petroleum base, has a larger molecule that groups in a different pattern than the synthetic molecule, and actually doesn't leak as bad. Now, on cold startups, you can blow seals and straight out of an air-cooled motor with this oil, so you always have to be careful, because the expansion ratio, it'll just tremendous amount of pressure, and it's really thick. But once it gets up to a certain temperature, it's better for it. Now I've also got a bunch of oil that I've got saved back for the flossy trike, and some additives, because the old metals that are in that old 1974 stock block won't take the temperature of the new gasolines, the hotter burn of the new gasolines, and they were used to having lead additives in it, which aren't in the oils or the gas or the oils anymore. So I have additives to put in both the gas to cool the gas down, lubricate the gas, and to allow the oil itself to lubricate into the block a little bit more. You know, I'd like to save my money up and have, I think I've mentioned that I'd like to save my money up and have one of those Mocos built that have all of the new bronze silicon guides and all of the high heat dispersing and metals that are not as susceptible to the way the new gas is and stuff. That new gas is crap. I mean, as far as the the effect on mechanics and mechanical parts and metals and stuff. But anyway, so I've got all that saved up. Hopefully I'll be able to use that in the Flossy trike, and we'll get as many miles out of that one as we can. Let's get a little defrost, get lights. Ooh, boy, that alternator, when I turn those lights on, even though the LEDs pull real small juice, those real old bulbs in the front, they pull a good gain. It drops down quite a bit on the voltmeter here, the amp meter. So alrighty, we are gonna try and get out and go home and get some chow, get some rest, and put $22 worth of gas in the Gopher. I can only put maybe $4 in at a time. Really small gas tank. And that was pretty cool to be able to get that money. Yeah, won't last long, but every little bit helps. Let's ride. Tavernette's been pushing snow. They're building something inside, so they're remodeling something. Said they're currently closed and they'll open back up on Friday. Maybe they had a little too much for the party scene on New Year's. That was interesting. Just dart right out there. Alrighty, we made it home. We're gonna get in here, get some rest, get some chow, hopefully start all over again tomorrow. See ya! Alrighty, we are going to get ready and try and start our day. The Gopher's been running for a little bit. We'll try and get this window scraped off some so we can see a little bit more. Maybe. And oh, it's nice and fine little crystals this morning. But yeah, we had getting a little bit late start to the day. Had really bad night with my neck and back and stuff last night, so I finally got I got some sleep right around 4, and that's usually when Dad gets up and comes in and starts waking everybody up. If you're even though my portion of my efficiency apartment's clear to the back, somehow I get woke up too. But anyway, it's all good. But there we go. Having a little trouble getting going, but we'll do that. We'll get in, start our day, and see what it will bring. Have a lot to do. Turn the heat on, turn the lights on. Alrighty, let's ride. start our day. I'm gonna go do my thing. Y'all take care of each other. Do your thing. See ya!
Damn, that was annoying.